Hello. This week I've got a very special unboxing. It's one I've been looking forward to a long time. Got a bit of a story about this one, but I'll keep it brief because I want to get straight to the opening. Basically, I think I've said before, I really came back to hobbying years and years ago when I was a kid with my dad. I built a railway. Well, he built the railway for me, and I was just the helpmate. But in a bit of a nostalgia thing that brought me back to the modelling was trying to recapture those times with my dad. And also the fact that I've always been interested in history. Now, on my way from there to here, another way that I used to scratch my history interest was playing on PC games and my Xbox. Various Xboxes. But now that I'm getting older and I'm slowly falling to bits, and the fact that I've got this eye problem because of the brain thing, I don't go on the Xbox anywhere near as much, even though it's a relatively new one. In fact, I haven't been on it for over 3 years, 4 years maybe, since I got into all this hobbying. So anyway, long story short, I decided to part way with gaming once and for all, and I sold my Xbox. And the reason being, well, two things. One, I've got this upcoming trip to Normandy, as you know, and I really needed to get some euros ready for the trip, which I was having trouble, putting together out of ordinary finances. So 2/3 of it went to buying some euros for the holiday, again for the hobby reason, because I want to go and see the history of Normandy. And I kept 1/3 of it back because I sold all my games and everything. I decided to treat myself to this, which is probably the most I've outlaid for any building. So I'm hoping this has really come out well. I've got it from the chap that I bought from before. It's called Warfare, Warfayre, and it's literally just arrived, so I'm aching to get in. And I bet you're fed up with hearing me ramble now, so you want me to get in. So anyway, let's get it open. Really excited about this one. Right, tell you what I'll do. I'll lift it all out and then I'll bring you back. Alright, so here's what was in the box. And yes, it's all one building. Any ideas? No? Right, I'll tell you. It's the church from St Mary Glees. And the moment I saw this online, I've seen quite a few people doing it, I really wanted it. Not only because, I'm going there and I'm going to actually see the church, on this Normandy trip. Obviously because of the American Airborne, which I'm interested in, and the Band of Brothers, and the fact that so many of them came down in that area. The other reason is I do like old churches, and I do tend to buy them for wargaming because they're kind of a recognisable feature in towns. So, when I was building my Foy kit setup for Battle of the Bulge, there was a church there, a small little chapel that's so distinctive looking that I thought, well, yeah, that I need to get that because that's going to kind of lift my other buildings and make them look more the part. So that's why I've gone for this one. And I've got the added fun of the fact that I'm going to see it. And hopefully I'll get to go in it, because I love walking around old churches as well. And it kind of gives me an extra bit of fun when I'm on holiday taking photographs. I'll know that when I come back I can work from those photographs to paint it. So anyway, let me open up a few of the bits and we'll try and put it together so you can see it in its entirety. So excited about this building, I can't tell you. I think it will be my single biggest terrain piece of investment, really. Like Christmas Day. Push that to one side a minute. Like I say, I could never have spent this much if I hadn't have done that. And although it's kind of sad admitting that, you know, my gaming days are over, I've got more than enough to keep me occupied in the modelling range now. So, and it's to be honest, modelling don't tend to Xboxes don't tend to cater for old gamers anymore. I'm more interested in modern warfare. Gone are the days when there used to be so many of the Second World War games. Right, obviously at this stage I'm not going to bother with the windows and everything. So let's try and oh, blimey, there's more. Wow, that's some building. That's some storage issue as well. I think this one's going to be on permanent display because I don't think I've got a cupboard big enough for this one. But that's not a problem. It'd be nice to look at it when I've completed it. Right, let me pause it here and I'll figure out placing it together and I'll bring you back to take a look at it. Oh my, just look at that. What a model. It's colossal. It's amazing. And you know, so far, you know, everything that I'm seeing, it's looking a nice print. You always get one or two little bits that you've got to trim and whatever, but none of it looks earth-shattering. Wow. I don't even know whether I could fit this in an entire video, painting this one. That's going to take some painting. But I mean, just look at it for scale with the figure look. I mean, can you even see him? Wow. I mean, it is a, you know, if ever the word centrepiece encompass something, this is it, surely. I mean, you whack that in the middle of your table and it's St Mary Glaze, isn't it? That, you know, job done. A few buildings around it. You ain't got much more on a 6x4 table, have you? Wow. I can just imagine it as well, set up with, you know, a few buildings and trees around it. I wouldn't want to play on it, I just want to look at it. So, well, all I can say, Mr. Warfare, I'm chuffed to pieces with it, mate. Love it. Really love it. It's a massive investment for me, but then, what is it? It's an Xbox that's gone, and that Xbox is going to treat me to go to somewhere I've wanted to go all my life. And the final part of it, from the games and everything else that went with it, has bought me this. And like I say, gaming aside, painting this up is going to be hours of fun. And then, you know, being able to drag it out and use it. Wow. Just wow. I'm trying to think of things that could, you know, that'd be more like a review. All I can say is, you know, it is a centerpiece, and it's a stunning 3D print. You know, it's really going to look the part, you know, with some airborne on it and some German defenders. And on some of the previous churches, I've even gone to the trouble, when I'm putting the windows in, of printing out on acetate photographs of windows. I might well go to that, you know, because it is such an investment. I might well do something similar on here, whether it will be the actual windows, because obviously I know a lot of them now have actually got tributes to the Operation Overlord in the window. They've got the parachutists in the glass, but not having been there, I haven't seen all the windows, so whether some I could feature and others I could utilise from other churches. But it is something that I've done in the past, where I've printed it on acetate and then just put it behind the frame so it shows through. But I mean, detail wise, on the actual print, it's very nice. Like I say, you've always got the odd little bit that you've got to trim, but you know, you'd expect that. But there's no flaws that I can see on this that kind of spoil the look. They're just things that need, you know, the normal tidying up that you'd always give it. I mean, one thing I did notice, obviously, when you put this roof down, look, the bit that holds the roof in place is obscuring that window. So I might make a mod and actually cut that bit out it doesn't matter on the other side because there's no window, but on this side I'd like to put a feature window in that bit, so I might take that out. I'll see, because I should be very tentative about it if I do, because the last thing I want to do is damage this model. There's a few little, you know, niggly bits just here, but I'm sure with a bit of moss or whatever I can cover them up and make them look part of it. Internal wise, I may do something with the internals, at least for some of the bigger parts. I know you're not going to see it, but it's just something I like to do. I'm not sure what I'd do about, you know, whether I'd base it or not. Because obviously it's the biggest thing with this is going to be the storage issue. I've got to make some decisions about how I'm going to do that. So it's good that it does break down into smaller parts. You know, if you were thinking of getting this and you weren't aware of how much it breaks down, you can see that you could split it down into a reasonable box of parts. I mean, I know it's not for everybody. For me it works because, like, I'm a bit of a geek for old churches anyway, and I like that kind of thing. I like the history in it, and the fact that this one is such a iconic part of the D-Day landings, you know, with the parachutists getting stuck next to the bells and that you see in The Longest Day. If ever I was going to lay out on a big building, this was the one, I think. And I'm running out of things I can say about it, really. It's just marvellous. It's not one that I'm going to rush to paint. I'm going to take my time with it. I think it'd be unlikely that I'd put it in one video or anything like that, but maybe I could do the odd update at the end of a video to show how it's going. But I would say I'm not going to be looking at doing anything with this till towards the end of the year, really. It'll probably be a winter project. If nothing else, I want to get these photos and do a bit of research and think long and hard about how I'm going to store it. But you know, there it is. You know, if you are thinking about it, you wondering what it comes out like, I hope this has given you some indication of the scale involved. I know it is a very expensive model. There's no way I would have been able to afford it if I'd not had the Xbox to part with. But to me, I've got the Normandy holiday out of it. I'm going to get, you know, my spends for that. And that's going to give me something that's going to live long in my memories. And then I've got something physical as well after the holiday that I can invest a bit of time into. And I mean, there's a hobby in itself, you know, just bringing it to life to something that I've actually seen. Anyway, I won't keep you in raptures. I think you can probably tell that I'm really pleased with it. If there are any questions you want to ask about this, because I know it's, you know, it's a big model and it's a big outlay, please feel free to drop them below. I'll do my best to answer. The other thing, as I've mentioned about that I'm going there, I will happily share photographs that I take on my Facebook page. So, you know, anybody considering doing the model, hopefully it'll give you some references as well. Right, I'll wrap this one up. I hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry I've been such a big kid. But I think it's the most excited I've been since Christmas 1974. Anyway, I'll wrap this up and I'll see you again soon. If you have liked it, please consider giving me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing and see what this big kid gets up to next. Right, okay, bye.